In this class, we shall talk about Kirchhoff's laws. Okay, there are two laws, as we said. There is the first law is nothing but KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. It states that the sum of currents entering the junction must be equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. Okay, or algebraic sum of currents is 0 at any junction, right? What does it states? At any junction, algebraic sum of currents is 0. Okay, that means suppose you take like this, we have different circuits. This is the junction, this is called as junction. Now at this junction some currents are entering, some currents are leaving, like this. Like this. So I am taking this as I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6, I7, I8, I9. So whichever the current entering the junction taken as positive, whichever the current that are leaving the junction are taken as negative. Okay, so now write down the equation. We get I1 plus I3, this is entering plus, so I4 plus I6 plus I7, these are all entering. This must be equal to all the currents which are leaving the junction. So all minus terms we are bringing to this side, so it will become plus. So what are the currents leaving the junction? I2 plus I5 plus I8 plus I9. So like this, the sum of the currents entering the junctions must be equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. This is the Kirchhoff's first law, right? Next, we talk about Kirchhoff's second law. Okay, what is Kirchhoff's second law? That is also called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's second law is also called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, so what is Kirchhoff's voltage law means? There is nothing but Kirchhoff's voltage law. So what does he say about voltage means? In a loop, algebraic sum of potentials is zero. So what does this mean? Suppose there is a loop you take. This is one loop. This is one loop. Here two EMFs are there, E1, E2, R1, R2. Okay, so now the current starts flowing in this direction, plus, and this is minus, and here this is plus and this is minus. Okay, so now in any direction you can take the current. Suppose I am assuming E1 greater than E2, E1 greater than E2 I am assuming, so I will take the current direction in this direction. So I am taking the current direction, the resultant current goes in this direction. Okay, any one current will flow, here two currents will not flow because there will be subtraction between these two EMFs. So what is the subtraction? So this one I am taking, so E1 minus E2, and the current flowing through R1 is I current is flowing through R1, R2, and again in through R1 also I current will be flowing. So now what happened here, minus IR1 minus IR2, because here this is a potential drop, this is a potential drop, and this is a potential drop. Potential drop is there here, so here also potential drop is there, and the potential will decrease at this point. So here this is a potential rise, and this is also potential rise, but it is in opposite direction. The current from E2 will be flowing in this direction, but E1 is flowing in this direction, so we are subtracting these two, and the resultant current will flow in this direction if I suppose E1 is greater than E2, right? So now what happened, this must be equal to 0. This is our equation. So E1 minus E2 is equal to minus R1 minus R2. We can rewrite this as E1 minus E2 is equal to I of R1 plus R2. So this is our equation we got from Kirchhoff's law, voltage law. This is a loop. Here only one loop is there, right? So like this we can write the Kirchhoff's law. Here in the Kirchhoff's law we have to take it into consideration about the direction of current. Number one, direction of current we have to consider, direction of current. Okay, and next number two, we have to consider that whether it is a potential drop or potential gain, potential drop or potential gain, or potential gain. These two things we have to, these three things we have to take into consideration. If it is potential drop, we have to take negative, and the current direction we have to take whether it is in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Based on that we have to decide the current direction. Okay, that is plus or minus we can decide. Only one direction we have to take. If opposite direction the currents are coming, we have to take minus. Here opposite direction the current is flowing. In this battery the current is flowing in this direction. In this battery the current is flowing in this direction. So they are coming opposite to each other. So that's why we have taken E1 minus E2. This is potential gain only. But why still I taken minus? Because it is opposite. The current flowing from E2 is opposite to E1. So that's why I have taken minus. Okay, that is the reason. So like that, the current direction, potential drop, potential gain we have to take into consideration. By this we can easily understand the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, now we shall see one problem based on this Kirchhoff's voltage law. We'll discuss one problem. So what does that problem means? there are two batteries here. There are two batteries. The question is given like this. There are two batteries with EMFs. There are two batteries with EMF. E1 is equal to 18 ohms, 18 volts, and E2 is equal to 12 volts, right? And their internal resistors are given. R1 is equal to 2 ohms and R2 is equal to 1 ohm. Okay, internal resistance are also given. So now what we are going to find is he is asking to find out the potential voltage drop, that is potential drop across 2 ohms. Across 2 ohms, how much potential drop is there? He is asking to find. Okay, that means there are two batteries like this. There are two batteries like this. This is one, and this is two. Two batteries are like this. This is E1, this is E2, and he is asking what is the reading in the voltmeter. What is the reading in the voltmeter when voltmeter is placed across E1? Okay, so what is the reading in the voltmeter he is asking, right? So how to find this one? Let us see. Here internal resistance of this one is R1, internal resistance of this one is R2. Okay, now we shall apply the Kirchhoff's law. That is, this is a positive terminal, negative terminal, positive terminal, negative terminal. So the current will be flowing in this direction. The current I will be flowing in this direction. So when current is flowing in this direction, what happened? Here this is positive only, because here the current will be in this direction, but this is will be negative because 18 volts is greater than 12 volts. 18 volts is greater than 12 volts. Here 18 volts is greater than 12 volts, so it will dominate. The current from 18 volts battery will dominate the 12 volts battery. So that's why what we will write here, E1 minus E2 is equal to I current into R1, that is IR1 plus IR2. Okay, these are the resistors, internal resistors. These are the internal resistors. Internal resistor. So it is also acting like a resistor. So this one also internal resistor. This one also internal resistor. So they are in series with the batteries. So that's why we will get, according to Kirchhoff's law, voltage law, as per the KVL, we get E1 minus E2 or minus of, you can write this one, minus of IR1 minus of IR2 is equal to 0 also we can write, because this is a potential drop here. Here also potential drop, at resistor potential drop will be there. They are in the direction of current only, so definitely minus sign will be given for them. Now take these two things to that side of the 0, then what happened? They will become plus. They will become plus. Okay. Now substitute the values. What we got here, 18 minus 12 must be equal to I of R1 plus R2. R1 how much it is? 2 plus 1. Okay, so 18 minus 12 means it is 6. 6 is equal to I into 3. Now take this one to cross multiply. 6 by 3 is equal to I. Therefore I is equal to 2 amps. So 2 amps of current is flowing through the circuit. Okay, so 2 amps is going means 2 amps of current is going across the circuit. And now what is the voltmeter is connected across the R1. This voltmeter is connected across R1 resistor, internal resistor. So the potential drop at this R1 is how much? The potential drop at R1 is, suppose V1 is the potential drop. So IR1, we take IR1, that is 2 into 2, that is equal to 4 volts. Okay, 4 volts is a potential drop, and total EMF is 18 volts. In that 4 volts drop is there, 4 volts potential drop is there. So potential drop is 4 volts. Total EMF of this battery is 18 volts. So net reading, that is voltmeter reading, voltmeter reads how much? 18 volts minus 4 volts, that is equal to 14 volts reading it will show. It will show 14 volts reading, right? So this is the potential drop at the resistor R1, because we are connecting this voltmeter across R1 only. So that's why we have to find the potential difference across R1, that is equal to 4 volts. 4 volts potential drop is there, it will decreases. So total is produced 18 volts. In that 4 is decreased. So total 18 minus 4, that is equal to 4 volts. Like this we can apply the Kirchhoff laws in the given questions, right? Next. Now we talk about resistance. So what is resistance? Means it is opposite to, which opposes, is a property of opposing the flow of current through any matter, right? That is called resistance. Okay. So here the resistance of a given material, resistance R is directly proportional to length of a wire, length of a wire, and indirectly proportional to area of cross section, area of cross section. Suppose this is a wire, this is a wire, this is called as the length, this is called as the length of the wire, and this is called as the area of cross section, that is called as the area of cross section. So the wire will be having, and its area of cross section will be having, right? So resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area of cross section. To remove this proportionality constant, we get R is equal to rho L by A. So what do you mean by rho? Rho means it is called as the specific resistance, specific resistance, or it is also called as resistivity, resistivity. It depends on the nature of the substance, it depends upon the nature of the substance. For different wire, different resistivity values will be there. Okay, right. Next, suppose one question is like this. There is one question. In the question what he is asking, if the length is doubled, the length is doubled, the length of the wire is doubled, and area and the radius of the wire is also doubled. Area of cross section is there, no? It is in a circular form, no? So this is the radius of that area of cross section. Suppose if this is the area of cross section and this becomes a radius, okay? So radius of the area of cross section is also doubled. Then what happened to the resistance? Then what happened to the resistance? Whether resistance increases or decreases, he is asking in the question like that. So for that what we have to do is, we already know that R is directly proportional to length. Okay, so R is proportional to length and R is inversely proportional to area. That means R is inversely proportional to pi R square. Area means if it is in the circular form, the area of circle is pi R square, right? So pi is a constant. So from this it implies R is inversely proportional to R square. R is inversely proportional to R square. R is directly proportional to length. Okay. So from this 1 and 2 we can write R is proportional to length by radius square. R is proportional to length by radius square. If I take two resistances, that is R1 by R2, then it will become L1 by R1 square into R2 square by L2. Okay, this is in the denominator, no? So L1 by R1 square whole divided by L2 by R2 square means it gets reciprocated. Actually you will get like this, L1 by R1 square whole divided by L2 by R2 square you will get. So this will get reciprocated. It goes to numerator, it goes to denominator. So that's why you will get L1 by R1 square into R2 square by L2. Okay. So what he said? L is doubled, he said. R is doubled, he said. Substitute the values here. L1 you take as L only. L1 you take as L only, but L2 you take as 2L. L1 is L only, L2 is 2L. Similarly, R1 is equal to R only, R2 is equal to 2R. Similarly, R1 is equal to R, R2 is equal to 2R. Okay. Now substitute these two values. L1 value you substitute, R1 value you substitute, L2 value you substitute, R2 value you substitute. All values you substitute. So what you will get? I will rub this. Okay. So you will get like this. R1 by R2 is equal to L1, that is L. L1 is L by R square. R1 is R square into L2 means 2L, and here R2 square you are getting, no? So 2R whole square by L2. L2 means again 2L you will get. So L and L will get cancelled. Okay, what is remaining here? 2R whole square means 4R square by 2R square. R square get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. So you will get 2. R1 by R2 is equal to 2. Okay. So if R1 is equal to R, then R2 is equal to how much? So you just cross multiply, you take this 2 to this side, R1 to this side. Okay, so what you will get? R1 is equal to 2R2, and again you bring this R to that side, you will get R1 by 2 is equal to R2. So R2 is equal to R1 by 2. So R by 2. So resistance is half the initial resistance. If you double the length, if you double the radius of cross section, if you double the length and if you double the radius of cross section, resistance becomes half. Initial resistance, the final resistance become half the initial resistance. Like this you will get the result about that one. Okay. Next, right, next, yeah, there is one wire like this. It is having the total resistance R. Okay, there is one wire, it is having the total resistance R. It is bent into the circle, okay, and it is cut into two halves. So half resistance will be R by 2, another half resistance will be another R by 2. So this is AB. Now he is asking what is the resistance across this AB. So two resistors are connected to a common point. This is having the first end of R by 2 is connected to first end of R by 2. Second end of R by 2 is connected to second end of R by 2. So whenever these two resistors are connected like this, they are parallel to each other. So R by 2 is parallel to R by 2. So what is the effective resistance now? That is equivalent resistance is equal to R by 2 into R by 2 by R by 2 plus R by 2. That means two resistors are there. R1 is equal to R by 2, R2 is equal to R by 2. When resistors are connected in parallel, what is our formula? R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, you use this formula. So what we will get here? Ultimately R square by 4 whole divided by R. So R and R get cancelled. So we get, this is half R plus half R is one full R you will get. Okay, right? So R and square will get cancelled. R by 4 is our equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance is R by 4, like this. 1 R is divided into 2 R by 2's. We will get the equivalent resistance as R by 4. Okay, like this. Right. Now suppose there are n resistors of small resistors R like that. There are n resistors, n number of resistors are there. These are all resistors. Okay, and what happened? They are connected in parallel. Okay, they are connected in parallel. Then what happens if these resistors are connected in parallel? The equivalent resistance is equal to how much it will be? 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R plus and so on up to n times we will add, right? So n times we are adding 1 by R only. So what it will become? N into 1 by R. N times we are adding, 3 times we are adding means 3 by R. 4 times we are adding means 4 by R. So n times we are adding 1 by R only. So n into 1 by R it is. So this is R equivalent. So our equivalent resistance is R. He has given that take R equivalent as capital R. R equivalent you take as capital R. When these resistors are connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance is capital R. He has given. It is given. Okay. So from this what happened? Capital R is equal to N into that is 1 by r, that is n by r. N into 1 by r, that is n by r. Now I want the internal that small resistance R value. What will be R value? R is equal to N by R. R is equal to N by R. Okay. Right. Now, if these resistors are connected in series, suppose these resistors are connected in series, then what will be its value? Then what will be its value? That is a question. Okay. So if these resistors are connected in series, what happen? These resistors are connected in series connection. Okay. Now series connection means what will write? R plus R plus R plus and so on. N times we will add this R, right? N times we will add this R. So what it will become if you add n times? And one more thing here, this is 1 by R equivalent. 1 by R equivalent we will write, isn't it? Reciprocal of equivalent resistance is reciprocal of sum. So similarly, here we are taking reciprocal we are taking. So reciprocal we are taking means this implies R equivalent is equal to R by N by R, no. So it will become R by N. So it will become R by N. R by N it will become. Okay. So I want R value means you cross multiply, you will get N into R. N into R you will get. Okay, here I did not change that one, right? 1 by reciprocal of equivalent is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1, so on in times. Again here also 1 by R equivalent is equal to N into R, 1 by R. I want R equivalent, so it will get reciprocated. So this is N by R, no. So I am taking this R to numerator means this R will come to numerator, so it will become R by N it will become. So you got small r is equal to N into capital R. So here you multiply, this is R equivalent directly. So R equivalent is equal to N into R. N times you are adding the R. So you already know R value. You substitute this R value here. So what you will get? R equivalent is equal to N into NR. So R equivalent is equal to N square R. This is resistance of a R in series. In parallel, if it is connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance is R. If it is the same resistance connected in series, same resistors are connected in series, then the resistance increases by N square times. Same resistors connected in parallel, it is R. Same resistors are connected in series, then resistance when compared to parallel resistance, the series resistance is increased by N square times. Okay, suppose here 2, 2, 2, 3 resistors are connected in parallel. In parallel they are connected. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. So it is total 3 by 2. So effective resistance will be, if it is connected in parallel, the effective resistance will be, the effective resistance is R is equal to how much it will become? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 3 by 2, and its reciprocal is 2 by 3 we got. Okay. Here N is equal to how many? 3. Here N is equal to 3 resistors are connected. Same resistors, these are parallel. These are parallel. Now in series directly we can say, what is that series value? N square means 3 square into 2 by 3. 1 3 cancel. 3 2 ja 6 ohms. If they are connected in parallel, 2 by 3 ohms. If you have same resistors are connected in series, 6 ohms. You want to test, you can add 2 plus 2 plus 2. 3 2 ja 6 you will get like this. Okay. So this is for N resistors. This is for 3 resistors like this. Okay. Right. right. Next, these three in the form of a, now there are resistors connected in the given format. So what is the given format means? Like this, there are some resistors connected. This is one question. Okay, the resistors are connected in given format. That is 17th question in our given PDF. Okay, so how they are connected means total 5 resistors are there here. Total 5